I had an overthinking problem and I was feeling everything. I wanted more, but I wasn't moving. I had all these ideas, so many ideas, creative ones, meaningful ones, but I wasn't sharing them. I was showing up for everyone else as a nurse, as a mom, as a wife, as a friend, as somebody who wanted to be engaged with my community. But the issue was that I wasn't sharing my idea. It was like that moment when you're like, I have a dream. I was quietly disconnecting from myself. And the worst part was I know I'm capable of more, just like you know, or you wouldn't be watching this video. But everyone told me to be more disciplined, just to stay consistent, post more, stop overthinking it, don't worry about it. So I tried, and it felt like I was forcing it. I planned more, but I wasn't moving the needle. I even tried to be better as a person. And I mean, that's super important and is a daily practice. But it still didn't feel quite right because my body wasn't on board. I didn't feel safe in my body. I had anxiety. I had depression. Everything felt like pressure. And it felt like I was abandoning myself over and over again. I would say that I want to do this thing and then I didn't do it. So no matter how I tried to do the right thing, I kept pulling back. And I'm not a lazy person. I work really hard and I'm proud of how hard that I work. But something in me wasn't ready to be like forced, like forced. What I tried instead was I stopped forcing to fix myself. Huge moment for me. I started listening. I started slowing down, feeling into my body, and I was able to pick up my paintbrush again, create something, even though it might not have been good, but just move that energy through me. It was huge. I took the pressure off. I let go of the outcome, which is also really big. And just self expression. Wow, what a breath of fresh air. And this started shifting my narrative around all sorts of stuff. What changed was I didn't actually become more disciplined. I became more honest with myself. I stopped abandoning myself, doing the things that mattered to me most. And from that place, I was able to create. I started sharing my work online. I started showing up in ways that really felt like it was who I was meant to be. Not perfect, not polished, but real. And it worked. I had spent 7 years in this journey and I was able to come up with this shift, this method that I now call the S.P.A.R.K method. I've been putting it into play, so it's not theory, it's not just strategy, but it's this beautiful experience that you can use. And the first thing we do is we notice that maybe there's not safety in our body, and we have to slow down and we have to regulate. And we remove the pressure of the thing entirely. And we lean into play, where we bring back that curiosity and there's no expectations and there's no performing and trying to be someone, like modeling somebody else. It's being ourselves, being the most authentic, coolest version, weird movement, expression, and presence in play. And then there's aligned action. So when you're finally in this space where you feel safe, you're not forcing action. And action actually feels like you. Oh, huge. And it builds that self-trust. It's like returning home. And you're like, oh, this is what it's supposed to feel like. And then we're able to like reflect and release. I never ever skip this step. I journal a lot. So I write down what came up for me? What was part of the process? What did I like? What did I not like? And I stopped carrying things that did not serve me. And I started noticing patterns of things that I did that were habitual or on autopilot, or narratives of words of mean things that I would say to myself. So this is where it builds. I call it the Kindle. Like we're throwing more wood on the fire, right? It creates momentum, confidence, and self-trust. Oh, I love it. And you don't just start, you actually get to continue. You keep the fire, that's why I call it the S.P.A.R.K method, going. So I stand very strongly in these, that we always have play over pressure. We have love for ourselves over discipline. And aligned intention over force. And always, always letting go means that we can let more in. And flow can be fun. We all know this, right? It doesn't have to be yucky and gross and forceful and cringy in any way. Just because we're learning something new, it doesn't have to be uncomfortable. So the version of me that came back to me felt safe to show up. It stopped overthinking every little process. I started following through. I created without pressure. And I trust myself. I trusted myself. And I think that's one of the things that I was really missing. And I see it in other people. And that's why I want to help those people now. Going from being stuck in their head, just like I was, using a nervous system safe way inside their creative process. I've been able to watch people, this is the coolest part, by the way, finally share things that they've been holding on to for months. Creating consistently without any burnout. Huge, huge win. Moving from like, I'm not ready, I don't think anybody wants this, to holy shit, I'm actually doing it. Building reps and gaining confidence without the need of perfection or pressure. Not because they forced it, but because they felt safe enough to start. We start with self-expression. We don't chase strangers. We activate what's already around us, the energy that's around us, and we don't aim to be perfect. We build reps, we have fun, we do move fast, but from alignment, from intention, and we are able to pivot and go the way that feels right for your body. So if you've been sitting on something and you feel the pull to keep stopping yourself for some reason, I want to be the first one to tell you, you are not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You are completely worthy of this creative process that I just described. Because you're not trying to force something that needs a different approach. It's something that's already within you. So let's awaken it. If this resonates with you, shoot me a DM with a fire emoji. And let's spark that conversation. Let's do this. Let's go. Because one small step can lead you to honest expression, and that is enough to start.